everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Andrea, and today I have one of many project pan intros for 2022. This is the Beauty A to Z project pan. This is a Fantastic Ladies collab project. It was created by Jessica Lee and Amanda. It runs from the 1st of January 2022 to December 31st, 2022. And basically you take the alphabet and you assign a product to every letter, and then you set whatever goal you want for those items. A while ago, I decided I was going to do this with single eyeshadows, and I mentioned it in a couple of videos, and Misty messaged me on Instagram saying that she, Dana, and Jessica were also doing it as eyeshadow singles, and asked if I wanted to kind of like join their group so we would all upload on the same day, and I said yes. So the four of us are all doing eyeshadows. I should say I said I'm doing eyeshadow singles. I don't know that the other three are exclusively doing eyeshadow singles, but they are doing eyeshadows for this project. So we're all going to post our updates on the 3rd. Dana is not on YouTube. She is Eyeshadow Junkie at Heart over on Instagram. And then of course Jessica and Misty are here on YouTube. So I'm going to have everybody's accounts linked down below, as well as the Fantastic Ladies group and the like sign up sheet for this project if you want to join along. So with that being said, I've got 27 eyeshadows to go through. Now I'm using the English alphabet, so there's 26 letters, but I also have some eyeshadow singles that start with a special character that I wanted to make sure I worked on those too, so that's why I have 27. So for most of these shadows, my goal is just going to be to hit pan. There are a few, there's at least one where I know my goal is just going to be to completely finish it. There's one more where I think I might finish it, but I'm not sure if I want to. And then the rest are to hit pan. Now the way that I decided what shadows I was going to bring into this project, I have all of my eyeshadows, whether they're in a palette or a single, I have them listed in a spreadsheet alphabetically. So I just went down my spreadsheet, and for every letter, the first eyeshadow single that was in the list for that letter is the one I picked. So this is a pretty random assortment of eyeshadows. It's not a cohesive palette in any way, shape, or form, but I figured this is going to complement my Pan Those eyeshadows, I think. So that's why I'm not really too concerned about it. I have 22 magnetic singles, and then the last 5 are all, I have 1 liquid shadow, 1 loose shadow, and then 3 are just in like a pot, or a single pot kind of a deal. So I'm gonna swatch because I love swatching. And I'm just going to run down the list and show all of the shadows that I'm going to be working on this year. And I haven't quite decided if once I hit pan in a shadow, if I'm going to roll in another shadow for that letter or not. I mean, I guess it depends on how easily I can hit pan on some of these, because I would like to rotate through my singles collection this year as well. So I think I'm counting my chickens a little bit before they hatch. So we'll see how it goes throughout the year, whether I decide to roll any new shades in or not. But as far as my magnetic palette of singles, these are the singles that I'm going to be working on that are in magnetic pans. And then I'll swatch, and then as I get to the ones that are not in a pan, I'll just show them. So first we have Abrasion from Clionadh Cosmetics, and I am actually wearing some of these shadows on my eyes today. This is the shade that I have all over my lid. This is going to take a while to hit pan on, if I ever do, because Clionadh shadows, you don't really need a lot, and they're pretty deep pans. So next for B, we have Baby Lights from Colourpop Cosmetics. This is another, I have a few Colourpop shades in here, and I think they're gonna take those are some that are going to take a while. Along with this next shadow, this is Caitlin Rose from Makeup Geek. Makeup Geek tends to have pretty deep pans and pretty densely packed shadows. This next one for D is Dark Matter from Terra Moons. Now these are really like soft and creamy. Oh my, that was very flaky too. I've never hit pan in a Terra Moons shadow, so I don't know how hard it's going to be, but I don't think it should be too hard since it is pretty creamy. Next we have, well, the next two are actually both Colourpop for E and F. We have Earthshine and then Fair Play. And Fair Play, I know, is going to take forever. I'm actually, this is not a great swatch. I'm actually wearing this Fair Play in like my transition area. Colourpop mattes are no joke. For G, I have this shade from Face Glaze Beauty called Golly, G-A-L-I, not G-O-L-L-Y. And it is super soft and creamy and beautiful, but a little bit goes a long way, so I really have no idea how long that's going to take to pan. Another one that's going to take forever. The mattes are going to take obviously longer than the metallics, but this is Habanero from Looksy Beauty, and these are really firmly pressed, so that's going to take a while to get through. The next one, and this is the first one that I'm just going to plan on finishing, this is a NYX single in I Have a Headache. It's a matte cream. I don't know how well you'll be able to see. I don't know if you can tell. There's quite a decent dip in it already, but this is just, it's like a highlighting matte cream shade, setting shade, so that's why I'm gonna probably just use that one up, because goodness knows I have a ton of cream eyeshadows in my collection, and I want to work on the singles that are like in this kind of packaging and just get them out of my collection, because they take up a lot of room and I just don't reach for them. Okay, J is from Copacetic Cosmetics. This is the shade Jackpot. This one feels very nice and creamy too. It's a little flaky. It's pretty flaky. Actually, it's not. Okay. Why will you not swatch? It's not really swatching. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the flaky or... Oh my gosh. Well, you can see it on my finger. It's not really, not really coming out on my arm, but... K is another Cleona shadow that I have no clue if I'll be able to hit pan in. This is the shade Kaleidoscope. It's like kind of a almost baby pink with baby blue reflex in it, and it's super pretty. L is one of the ones that I think should be fairly easy for me to hit pan in because it's a Super Shock shadow. This is Lala, and it's still nice. It's still nice and creamy. It hasn't dried out like a lot of my other Super Shock shadows have because I don't use them enough, but I'm running out of room on this arm. I'm going to have to switch arms pretty soon. It's a beautiful color though. And we'll do one more swatch on this arm and then I'm going to switch arms. And then next is the shade M51 from Terra Moons. This is one of their newer like multi-chrome shades. I don't know. Oh, you can see the shift when I hold my elbow up like that. Again, this is very soft, but I'm not going to be trying to hit pan on that one very fast just because it is pretty new to my collection. But a little does go a long way, so I'm not too worried about it. Next for N, I have a shade from Divina. This is the shade Nacarat. It's another one of those like red orangey duochromy shades. Hopefully you can see. I I don't know why I'm so bad at swatching, but I am. O is from Touch of Glam Beauty. This is from, like, she has a Disney themed collection. This is called Ocean's Daughter. Again, I've never panned one of her shadows. It doesn't feel like it's going to be super easy. So we'll see. P is Painted Lady from Looksy Beauty. Now I have hit pan in one of the Looksy Beauty like shimmer shades before, and it's pretty easy, so I'm not too worried about this one. For R, oh wait, whoops, darn it. I skipped Q because I'll do R and then I'll do Q. So for R, I have, this is Radiation from Terra Moons. I'll leave a space in between so I can put Q there. It's gorgeous. Oh, this shadow is so beautiful. I love it. And then for Q, I have another Terra Moons shadow, but this is my loose shadow. And this is in the shade Queen's Court. Oh my god. This is a precarious situation right here. I don't know how well it's going to swatch since I don't have any like primer or glitter glue on my arm, so we'll see. The answer is not very well. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of get an idea. It's like pink with gold. I'm I'm not gonna try to use this up. I think I might, for this one, this is probably the only one I'm gonna have an actual usage goal on. I think I'm just gonna try to use this one 30 times and then I'll reevaluate. Maybe I want to keep it in longer, maybe I don't, but loose shadows take forever to use up, and not that I would know because I've never used one up, and I don't think I would be successful if I set that as my goal. So I'm just going to do 30 uses for that one. So I did R. S is one of the round pans from Cleona, and this feels pretty full and pretty tightly packed, so I think this is going to take a while too. This is the shade Salamander. Then I know this next one, I know T is going to take forever. This is a Sydney Grace matte in the shade Tangerine, and her mattes, I mean her shadows in general, are tightly pressed and the pans are pretty generous. So that one, the mattes are definitely probably going to be in most of the year. U is another Terra Moons shade. It is UFO. It's beautiful. Duochrome purple with that pink shift. I really like this shadow and I am super happy to be working on it. V is another Divina shadow. This is the shade Vicious. It's another purple with like a pink shift, but this is a much cooler, like kind of a bluey gray purple, as opposed to this is a very red toned purple. Or this UFO shade is a very red toned purple. So there's Vicious. W is this Stila Glitter and Glow in Wanderlust, and I'm more than halfway done with it. It's down to here, so I think this is this other one that I'm going to try to use up, or I'm going to use it as much as I can until it just dries out, because it's been in my collection for a long time, and that is a terrible... I mean, it's already starting to dry out a bit, which is why I'm kind of glad it got chosen. Yeah, this, I'm going to need to, well, I'm probably going to need to rehydrate it, but it also is more of a topper shade. It's not really like an opaque one and done type of shade. This is getting there. And it's, again, one of those like pink to like an orangey gold kind of shifting shadows. X is another shade that I'm wearing on my inner corner. This is X-Ray from Terra Moons. This is quite flaky, so I think this one should be fairly easy to hit pan on, but just like look at that shift. It's like fluorescent almost. Why? This is, I think, the first shadow I'm gonna hit pan on, probably within like a couple uses, because it's a glitter. This is the shade, I mean, it's a basic silver glitter. I don't want to go digging in the pan, but this is the shade Yang from Copacetic Cosmetics, and I have a bit of use on it already. So I think that one should definitely not be a problem. Then for Z, I have this thing, which I'm probably at the end of the year going to declutter it because I've had it forever. This is a single baked shadow from Julep. This is the shade Zenith. Like, it's a pretty chocolatey brown, like shimmery shade. It's just, the packaging is so big that I don't want to use it. And it's just, you can see from my eye look, it's a little more neutral than I tend to go for. And then like my bonus shade is hashtag It's a Boy from Sydney Grace, which is this dark blue, which I'm actually wearing on my outer corner. So that is a swatch of that one. This one will also probably be in the project all year long because it's a dark blue matte. So can I get all of them in the frame at once? I can't see anything. Hello. So these are all 27 shadows that I'm going to be working on in Beauty A to Z this year. Now, as far as goals for the first update go, I think, one, I want to just hit pan in this glitter and just kind of like get it out. This is the one I'm kind of debating. Do I want to just like really finish a whole glitter, or do I just want to hit pan and roll it out? Because I do like glitter, but it's such a pain in the butt. But other than that, other than hitting pan in the glitter, I don't know that there's really any other ones that I can hit pan in, unless I like focus exclusively on it, and that's not what I want to do. The only other possibility is hitting pan in this NYX one, because I'm almost done with my BH Cosmetics setting powder that I had in my 11 Oldies project, and I'm just using that to set my eyeshadow just to help use it up a little bit faster. I've got like 3 days left on that, so after that I'll be able to use this exclusively. But I also don't use a ton when I set my eyeshadow, so who knows. And then as far as that, trying to hit pan in those two, and then trying to use each of the other shades at least once. And I do have on my magnetic palette, once I saw Allie from Wonder and Allie Land, like she kind of does something like this on her palettes that she has in projects to help keep track of uses. Because normally I just keep track of uses in my notebook, but sometimes I forget. And to have it on here, it's a lot easier to, when I'm reaching for the palette, to actually look at this and be like, okay, what have I not used? So these are all the shades actually in the palette, and then on the back, I just did another one with all of the ones that are not in the palette, just so I can mark them all off in the same spot. But as you can see, I already have 4 marked off because I used Abrasion, X-Ray, hashtag It's a Boy, and Fair Play today. So I'm starting off good. I've got to use 23 more shades this month and then attempt to hit pan on that Yang, and potentially I have a headache. And then we'll see where we're at with all the other ones. But I'm really excited about doing this project this year. I did, was it maybe 2 years ago, I attempted doing this with eyeshadow singles as well, and I didn't know as much about panning then as I do now, so I think I'll be more successful, because that year I abandoned it after about 4 months. So I'm hoping this year is a little bit easier, and since I restructured the way I'm going to do panless eyeshadows, I think that will also help because I'm only going to be focusing on these singles. I won't have any other singles in that project to distract me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this intro. I'm going to have a lot more intros coming up in the next few days or next week or so. It's a very exciting time to be starting new projects, working on new items, and I've got a lot of panning content coming up this year. I have a few non-makeup panning things, or I should say panning, because it's not makeup or beauty, so it's not really panning, but it's panning. I have a couple non-makeup projects that I'm going to be posting or starting this month as well. So I hope you stick around for that. I hope you're staying safe and sane and healthy, having a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.